Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a kind of a new update video to show what I've been up to. Kind of give a little tour of my houses and the buildings and all that I've been working on, plus a couple of the recent mods I've added in. Don't know who all might even watch this, but if you have any questions as far as any of the mods that I'm using, if you have a question what it is, feel free to ask. Jump in here. Probably at the moment using about, I believe, somewhere between 10 and 15 different mods. And in that list I do include like Modloader and Audiomod. I know they're not technically mods, but I include them in the list because they're another thing I added into the game. So let me get everything loaded up here and all the textures start popping in. Alright, sitting out here on a kind of a beach area. My original compound's over there. It's not loading up at the moment, but it will in a second. There it goes. And my spawn point is actually over there. That was my first structure, and I'll go visit it in just a second. That's the first thing I built, and it literally is, to me, kind of like a compound. It's just this huge base, I guess. My second one was kind of this tower here. It's just, make sure that werewolf over there is staying over there. Tower. First area I kind of decided that I wanted to explore too. It was a close island, so I ventured over there, built a little tower that I could see, and even built a railroad system that goes over to it, a cart system. Really actually don't use that all that much anymore, but and this is my most recent kind of structures that I've been working on and all, and I am using Mo creatures with the ogres, and have put in, this is obsidian. This is a texture pack I'm using at the moment. MixedCraftHD, and I've kind of cut and pasted a couple of the different textures. Like I like this gravel better from a different pack, but it's kind of mix and match. And this is the obsidian for the MixedCraft, and I've got it every other space in here for the fact that ogres can come in, and I actually have tested it once completely by accident. An ogre tried to come through the wall where I was up here working on a building, and it literally was standing here jumping up and down, bashing the wall, and it tore out a nice section of the cobblestone, but the obsidian held strong like it's supposed to, and it kept the ogre from coming in and doing damage. So all I had to do was come back out and kill the ogre and replace the cobblestone, and we were good to go. We'll go over here and take a look inside. And yeah, I know it's not necessary. I kind of make pathways out of the gravel. It kind of just helps me keep track of where I'm going, walkways, stuff like that. A couple little different structures I've built. And I know that statue kind of looks like it's wearing glasses, but I actually found out I had things spawning up there. So I've actually added some torches behind the pieces of glass just to keep stuff from spawning. And I know I've actually expanded this a little bit taller. I noticed where I had birds, I had a full flock of birds in here at one point, and all of them disappeared except for two. And so I didn't know if they had died in the trees, like gotten stuck between the tree and a piece of wood, or if they had drowned. So I've actually took the water out, and I've even expanded it so it's higher up, so they have full access around the tree now. So they still go over there and eat the seed just like they used to, but I actually had to re-catch some more birds and basically feed them and bait them all the way from like another tree and bring them over, bust out the glass, get them inside, put the glass back up. But so that's the same. Turtle pen's still the same as it was. I have put a piece of fence up here. When the two turtles were side by side, they like to push each other through the wall, and I actually had to find one of my turtles, 60 squares that way or so. So since then I've added in a fence to keep them separated. And this is, as I said, kind of the base I've been working on right now. I've actually named it Sunny Trail Stables and Farms. I'm using Mo creatures, and I'm also using DrZhark's Farmcraft as well. And since then I've decided that more or less this is going to be my farm and food resource and all that. And this used to be kind of like a castle or something, and I wanted to make it more like kind of a farmhouse. Might add in some white wool, kind of give it that old southern style house look, farmhouse look. Haven't really decided yet. These are apple trees from XIE farming mod, and it's kind of neat. You find them rare out in the world. It's like one per every 20, 30 trees, something like that. Or I think he says that, they spawn every 200 blocks, something like that. You'll find them. But when you chop them down, they drop apple tree saplings and also drop apples. So that's kind of nice. We'll go over here first. This is just a little cutesy thing I tried to build. So actually, I'm running a fairy mod as well. And I'll have to post an annotation of who did the fairy mod. He also did the succubus, and he also did Charlotte mod. For some reason, his name just completely spaced on me at the moment, but he did this, and so I've got it installed, and actually made the little fairy a house, just so I can kind of keep up with it, and since you can tame it. And so I've made a little area to hang out in and stay, and that way I've got a fairy that's safely locked up, and you use it just like you would the chicken mod, where you put the chicken on your head and you can glide with it. Well, you can do the same thing with that. You pick up the fairy, put her on your head, and you can glide with her, and you can jump 2 high blocks as opposed to just 1 block. My Sunny Trail stables, it's pretty big size. At the moment, I've got the horses in here. I've kind of just named them. Put when I bred them, if they're now sterile, and offspring, all that good stuff. I'm kind of a nerd, so like to keep up with a lot of details and stuff like that, though. These blocks here actually look like the food blocks from a mod, but they actually conflicted with some of the mods that I use. So my brother and I actually went into InstaStructure, which is another mod that we use, and built these blocks in that program, or in that mod, and also these wheat floors or hay floors. So these are all just blocks that we used, and made the pictures themselves and then put them into the game. And yes, I do finally have a Pegasus. I found it in the wild as a tiny little speck about the size of a flea, and basically had to protect it until it was fully grown so I could try to tame it and get it, and I did. And I do have a ladder up here that goes up to a hayloft if you've ever been in a stable or a barn before. Just kind of, again, just something for me, just detail-wise, something I like. Open up the hay door. Normally you'd have like a little cable here, or a pulley that you'd pull up hay bales with. Giant wheat farm, I'll go over there in a second. And scarecrow, just something I decided to make. And I've actually seen it on somebody else's YouTube video before, but I didn't actually see it till after I'd built one. I'd already kind of thought about one, but again, it's just for the looks, no actual use to it or any purpose or anything. It's just for the looks. Because of all the mods, I do try to put everything in separate chests, just so that if Notch updates the game, everything will be in a separate chest where, if I open this up and Mo Creatures wasn't updated yet to the newest thing, it would crash the game. So that way I can kind of keep everything separated. That's just my general stuff that's already in the game. Like, that's a regular pig saddle. Don't really use them. Those are hickory saplings or the regular tree saplings. Grass seeds and wheat. Then I have this labeled as Farmcraft, Mo Creature Storage, and have some dirt in here just because I needed to empty my inventory. But there's a shepherd's rod from Farmcraft. It's how you lead the tamed animals around. Pumpkin seeds. This is from Z's. I know I'm mispronouncing it, but XIE's farm mod as well. And the rose seeds over here are actually from Farmcraft. And then yellow flower seeds. And the haystacks are from Mo Creatures and from Farmcraft, DrZhark's. So as I said, I try to keep it separated the best I can. And yes, I do have some watermelons over here. That's also from the farming mod, not Farmcraft, but the other one. You can grow watermelons. You can grow all the flowers. Lots of fun stuff. I've actually had to build up these walls here on my pastures or whatever, because I was having times where I'd come in here and all my animals would be dead. So I found that even 2 high fences here, if they jumped just right and there was a lion or a bear from Mo Creatures, if they jumped at the exact same time, they could still get them. They could still kill them. So I've gone in, make sure that nothing should spawn in this area. I've got enough torches and all. Made a little manure and compost bin here. It's just the manure from Farmcraft when you feed the cows wheat. And I've put that there, and that's how you make the seeds and spores to grow more mushrooms and stuff like that. Over here I've got 3 tamed pigs. They don't really have a use at the moment, but I just kind of like them, so I've got them over here just to have, again, it's basically a giant farm I've made here. Come up here, and I've more or less made a chicken coop. And it's kind of funny that after I made it, I'll go inside here, but the chickens literally hang out in those 2 little blocks. So I actually closed them into those blocks, just because that's where they sit no matter what anyway. And they just sit here and lay eggs for me, and I just put the eggs inside here in the chest, and that's where they hang out. So, and the eggs you can actually use in Z's, or Zal's, or Z's, I guess, sorry, XIE's cooking mod as well. I've got that installed. The sheep are kind of cool now. I've got them over here, and the reason I'm even keeping sheep is the fact that you can now regrow their wool. After you punch them and knock the wool off, you can feed them hay with the latest Farmcraft, and it regrows their wool.